Right, just doing a video because I've been helping someone with their dog in training. And for the first 5 months, obviously, I helped them with their dog and I trained them up a certain way for the owner to help them. And I usually only use that method if you've got a dog that's hard of hearing, or if your dog can't hear, then I use a certain method, which I will show you now, and then we'll show you the other way. Right, so basically you get a harness. It's got a handle here, as you can see. Look, handle there. That bit goes around the body and that bit goes around the chest. Just a soft harness. Look, it's soft. You can get leather ones. Leather ones, people go, oh, they look so ferocious. But to be fair, some leather ones in the past are well known for lasting longer and taking a bit more thing. But in material ones, I mean, these are my favourite. It's got a little picture on it there. But these are my favourites. You can get them in Pets at Home. But for a material one, these are great. And I don't like many material ones. But yeah, there's some. I much prefer the ones with the handles. Yeah. So, right, that's what you use. One of those. Right, do you have a check collar? A check collar, look. A normal check collar. So if I do that, it's just a normal check collar. See that? It's tiny. These are tiny. They're not big bulky things. It's not heavy. It's not got any spikes in it. I'm not a great believer in prawn collars at all. And this is a normal check collar. And this I prefer in training. Yeah? And then all you're doing is, see this bit, we'll do it a bit smaller. So it's loose. It's loose. And then you check gently. Check in. Yeah? That's all it is. You don't go, rah, rah, rah. Yeah? I know sometimes that can't be helped. Your dog's going to start pulling and you've got dickheads around and you're not doing it on purpose. But I don't believe in people that do it wrong. Yeah? Right. So we all have good days and bad days, but this is a proper one. And it's not for choking, it's just for checking. Right. So we have that. And then I use one of these. Oh, I can't really show this one in the video. Hang on. It's one of these. It's got a bit here that latches on, and it carries on, carries on, carries on. Goes to that bit, but then I like to add another one of these on, and then see there the catch. It's got a catch like that, and you can lock it off. Yeah. But this part here of the lead goes around your body like so. And in training, you know, if you're worried that you might trip over in training, or you've got medical conditions, or you might fall over and have no control of it at times, or whatever reason, I prefer these. And some police handlers or other handlers will use these collars in training, but normal people can use them too. Right, so the things I've just shown you, the things that I use and like to use, it's a lot softer on the dog in training. So I worked very hard for the first 5 months in getting somebody's young dog up for them, breaking it in the first parts of breaking a young one in the right way. But unfortunately, I'm going to show you something now. Unfortunately, the person bought these things, and I've got a picture of it. I mean, I'm not a great believer in them. They bought one of these things, look. If I show the picture. So they put that bit around the face. This bit here goes around there, and they clipped their lead on that bit. But their dog hated it. So their dog, what it was doing, you got normal pulling forward. But now their dog goes, It does all that in pulling now, which it didn't do before. Before, the dog would just pull forward, because it's not trained. But when your dog in training not only pulls forward, but starts going, pulling its head at the same time, that's a cause of these things when not used correctly. And it's not a cheaper, easy way for training either. you still got to use it in training. If you don't know how to use these properly, please don't use them, because you'll just give your dogs bad behavioural problems in training. Alright, so I'm just putting a picture of that up, and then I've got one here what it looks like. So see this? Hang on, bloody thing. I hate these. Personally, it gives them bad things, especially if people don't use them right. Right, so it clips in round there. Let's just clip it off. So we've got the clip here. So the neck goes through that bit. Right, so say that's the face of the dog. Hang on. We'll just put it on like that's a bit crap way of doing it. I'm not putting it on my dogs because I don't like these things. Right, so you can see this bit. That would be where the muzzle goes. I can't, let's try a different way. Right, so the hoop here, you've got the big bit here. Alright, this ain't yours. Right, go away. So the hoop goes round like that. Oh, it's a very bad way of doing it. I think the picture shows it better. But anyway, so you've got this divvy bit here that somebody was sticking their lead on. And what they were doing, if I just get a lead from here. Hang on. All I want is the end bit. So what they were doing, they was getting their lead and they were sticking it on that bit. Yeah, look. Just like that, they were sticking it on their lead. And then they were sticking that bit round the dog's neck, the bigger bit. And then this bit here, that's where my hand is, was going around the dog's face, right? And their German Shepherd hated it. It kept pulling everywhere. But then what happened was, instead of doing normal pulling where it ain't trained in these training in areas, it's now going, because even without this on, because they've trained it with a bad habit, because of this thing here, yeah, trained it badly with one of these. So now it's got, I will put a video up of what the dog does now that it never did before. And that's all thanks to one of these and not being corrected or used in the right way. I don't like these. That's a lazy person's thing, because a lot of people think if you put that on your dog, right, and a lot of you think, oh, that's going to train my dog. I just whack one of them on and it stops pulling. Great. But if you're not doing the rest of the training and you do this training wrong, then that goes out the window and your dog ain't just pulling like a normal dog does. It's now going and pulling, because it's now you've reinforced it that that's still on its face when it ain't, and now it ain't trained right. You've given it a bad habit. So to this, that's what I think of that. Throw it away. Right? But chicken, you want to do real training? Get one of these. Yeah? It's a thin one. I've got little hands, right? Look at my little finger. I've got little fingers, right? I've got little hands, right? That's how small the chain is. Right, it's a very elegant, soft chain. I'm not going around saying I've got to get some big bulky thing, like bolts as big as my earrings on it going along on the chain. I don't think so. And make it as heavy as possible, make the dog to wear. I'm not a believer in that either. But anyway, I will put up some videos of the person's dog. I'm trying to help correct for them again. And then we'll show you what the dog is doing. I mean, at first I was quite devastated, because I thought, freaking hell, 5 months of hard work, helping them train the dog. I thought I had 2 of my own new dogs in, right, I'm training up. And then obviously they was like, oh, can you help me with my dog, blah, blah, blah. And I thought, well, it was a little bit of, didn't ask me, went and done it. And obviously I'm going to help them. I mean, I've helped them with a lot of their dogs in the past. And then when they're fully trained, they've gone off and enjoyed them on and off lead and all that kind of stuff. But and all they've had to do is keep up with the training. That's simple. But like I said to this person, yeah, like I said to this person, I don't want to sit there breaking your dog in, yeah, fully, when it's your dog. You bought it. I thought, well, this time round, it's a unusual thing to say, I know, but I'm not going to sit there and train your dogs and give them all back to you and go, there you go, fully trained, there you go, off you go. Why should I have to do the training? You bought a dog, you want the dog, you put the work in, yeah? Not buy a dog, want a dog, buy a dog, and then go and say, right, well, somebody else can train it and give it back to me when you're done. That's really lazy. And you might as well not got a dog in the first place. Oh, I'm having a cigarette. Having a bit of cup tea. But like I say, with the dog I'm talking about, anyways, I'm going to put some bits and pieces up so you can see what the dog does. And that is the cause of one of those being used incorrectly. And I'm not a believer in these, because people should be not just buying them, sticking them on their dogs and putting them on a lead and hope for the best. That's gonna cure. Excuse me. Right. Go play with your toy. Oh, look, there's your toy. There's your toy. Where's your toy? Yeah. So, anyways, I'm not a believer in these because that reason. I mean, it should come with something on the box saying, well, you don't just buy it and hope for the best. That. Right, excuse me. Right, down please. What the bloody hell have you been doing? Right, your toy's there. Right, so, I'm going to show you the way I use, because I'm a believer in it, because it's a lot more gentle. Even the owner prefers it than this. And the dog likes it better as well. But, I was already doing that with them when I had their dog for the first 5 months for them. So I'd done the hard bit for them. All they had to do was go and carry on with the training. But instead they went a little bit behind and then decided they were going to put one of these on, which was a bad idea. And now we're doing refresher courses. So it looks really bad at the moment at the beginning, because now we're trying to correct something else that the dog didn't have before. And yeah, that happens. I mean, some owners don't have a clue. They think they do. They go out and do something, buy something that they don't understand how to use, and then you get dogs with different behaviour problems. So do you really, there's normal pulling, which I will show you in another video, but my dog is pulling because its ears don't work properly. So I'm using this form of training because it don't hear properly. I use it on deaf dogs, and some occasions I use it because, I mean, I've got spinal problems myself. I've got other people out there that might have things wrong with their feet or other conditions. So in some cases, I will use this method because it's nicer. It ain't going to be giving them things like that, worse than pulling than they already had and going like that now with it. Yeah. But yeah. So I will do the video and you'll see the difference of a real pulling dog pulling forward. But just remember, a normal dog would do it. But also remember, the dog that I'm showing, which is a white one, he's actually got ear problems. So that pulling will never be spot on. I don't care what anybody says. I will not bribe my dog with treats. I refuse. Plus, I can't do that anyways because they've got other conditions going on in the gut. And that was not caused by me. I've never had any dogs with gut problems. This is my first one. And then, like I say, I will put them videos up. And then I'll put the other videos up of the one who used one of these. One of these. And now the dog's not just pulling, but they're now going like that. Yeah? And that's caused from that. So then you can analyse it, break it down. And you don't want to be dog handlers out there. When you analyse something, you'll know what the cause of it is. That's why I'm doing it, to help you. Okay? Alright. So I will put it up. Right. But the main thing is positive vibes, because the owner come and ask for help. And we're doing refresher courses now. And they're going to do it. I might help a little bit to get the dog doing. And then I will give it back to the owner so they can then do. Because, oh my God, when we went to do training the other day, I was so worried that the dog had forgotten all the hard work that I put into it in the first 5 months. I was like, oh, drop me out. If only the owner knows how much hard work goes into doing that, you know. And I weren't just helping them out with their dog. I was already training up 2 of my dogs that were new that brought into the mix. And one of mine can't hear properly. So there's a different training going on with that as well. And then I had to bring another dog in sooner rather than later because I needed his ears to work to carry on with different training. Anyway, so what I'm saying to you is that the main thing is the owner's come back, it's now going back to doing positive things. And when we went for a refresher course the other day, and I was showing them how to do it because their timing weren't right, I had to do all the lead stuff. But first we had to get the dog into doing mode because the dog had been getting away with it and there was no concentration, the dog weren't listening, the owner put it down to it wants to go sniff and that. I mean, yeah, sometimes if you look at body language, it's because they want to go and say hello to other dogs, or they want to say hello to people, and then they're like, oh, hey, I want to go and say hello, and they do that. Yeah, fair enough, right? And that's not an issue, because we've all got loads of dogs that do that, right? No one minds, as long as they've got friendly dogs and they introduce each other. Anyway, so then we got, oh, I've lost where I'm going. Yeah, so we had all that going on. Right, I've forgotten what I was talking about, but I'm just going to do this video. My ones are playing now. Yeah, I'm going to do this video anyway, and then I'll highlight the bits so that you can see what the cause of why the dog does that, why it ain't pulling like it normally would. And it isn't caused by one of those. It isn't. Because I had the dog for 5 months, and we were using baby ones of these and that. But the baby ones had a softer material here, and the baby ones only had a small checky thing here, but none of that was metal, that was all material, which was showed before. But that was a soft one for baby necks on dogs. But like I say, and then it got upgraded to one of these later on, one of these bigger older dog ones. But yeah, no, so I couldn't believe it. The dog was doing none of that at 5 months. All the way up 5 months, wasn't doing none of that. But yeah, that broke me because I thought all my hard work and training's just gone out the freaking pantyhose and out the window. Because you imagine if you've got someone doing it right, and then you've got someone keep doing it wrong, or not even bothering to do it at all, and think they know better by going to using one of these things. They don't know how to use it, but they're just going to stick it on note for the best. That's not training. But yeah, I think there should be a warning on these things about how to use them. And how to do it properly. If you're going to buy one of these, I personally don't like them. I don't. If you want your dog to start roaring and going up on 2 legs like a horse, yeah, and start standing on 2 feet, put one of them on your dog. It will do it for you. And if you want your dog to not just pull, and you had just one thing to fix, and then your dog's now pulling but going like that, that's a false habit from when it wore one of these. Right? Right, let's throw that away. Right, I'm now going to go do the video for you and highlight the bits why, yeah? Oh, and I'm going to highlight the bit about what I use in a method that works, but I only use that on certain special reasons. I don't normally use it on all. Normally, when it's like doing normal stuff, I will just do one of these. I always put a harness on, so force of habit. And in case I ever need it, it's got a handle on it. But yeah, so when it's a normal dog, just a normal check collar, and then take a normal collar out as well, because if anything happens, you've got a spare collar going on. Right, and then obviously just use a normal lead and do normal training. Right, so I'm going to put the videos up.